Hi there, Ian Tischler here with New Horizons Golf. Today I want to talk to you about releasing the club and what a good release is. Both Ben Hogan and Jack Nicklaus said you can't release the club too soon. They actually felt like they tried to release it from the top. Now a lot of people say, well, that's crazy. I know I can release it too soon. It's like in baseball. If I release it early, it's going to go left. If I release it late, it's going to go right. So there's sort of a timing to the release. Now they were crazy good, so why don't we try to figure out what they meant by it. And if we get an idea of what they meant by you can't release it too soon, maybe your game will improve, maybe you'll release it better, maybe you'll release it firmer, stronger, faster, the ball will go further and straighter, and your game will improve. So the first thing we need to understand is release actually happens in three directions. If I go up to the top of the backswing, the club is up and behind me. In order for the club to get to the ball, I got to release it down to the ground. I also have to send it out to the ball, but I also have to release it through the target. So the part of the release that they were more concerned with is really the unhinging or the downward part of the release. So if I go ahead and get set up here, I take it to the top of the backswing. If I go like this is more what they were talking about. I'm just unhinging my wrist. And actually you can see right now, if I unhinge my wrist in this direction, that club face stays pretty damn square. Also, I'm unhinging it pretty near where we could call the plane of the swing, and it's a shifting plane or a graduating plane. But you can see that I'm not going way out and I'm not dropping it way under. So if I go up to the top and I just go like this, I'm actually doing a very good job of unhinging my wrist. And as I do that, that club face is actually staying very square. Now of course, as my arms and hands are releasing or unhinging here, I need to make sure that my body is moving and it's moving into and through impact as well. If I stay down and I try to unhinge it and extend, the club's going to go out past the ball. I'm actually going to miss the ball. So because we're not extended at address and we're going to be extended moving through the ball, our body has to move in such a way to make room for that release or for that extension. In a sense, we need to be posturing up on our front leg. Some golfers even need their head to be coming up through the ball to help make room for that release or that extension that they're creating. All right? You can think of it this way. If I go to the top, if you can hear that, that is whooshing really fast. And even in such a short duration, I'm getting that whooshing. And all that is a fast unhinging of the wrist. Now from here, if I just turn and move into impact, I'm actually in a very good impact position. I flip the club over. That's exactly what I want to see coming down through the ball. So, now if I go up to the top and I send it out to the ball line too soon, that would be a bad release. Okay? The two directions of unhinging that don't work are unhinging and dropping it too far behind the plane, and unhinging it and sending it out over the plane. So when we're unhinging, we're just directly unhinging, and if we do that properly, we're actually unhinging it right down plane. So in a sense, what Jack Nicklaus and Ben Hogan were saying is that if you're unhinging properly, you're unhinging on plane. And if you're unhinging on plane, you cannot unhinge too soon, and you cannot release it too soon. You can release it from the top, you can release it as hard as you want. Okay? Now remember, again, if I stay in posture and I'm releasing it down the plane and I keep moving into impact, but I go ahead and stay down, I'm going to contact the ground behind the ball here. I'm going to end up sticking the club in the ground because I got to make room for that releasing and that extending action that I'm creating. So what I'm looking for here is a good unhinging action, trying to get that speed, unhinging from the top, get my body moving into impact as I do that. So if I'm unhinging it on plane and I'm posturing up through the ball, I really cannot release it too soon. Let's give this a try. Now, that shot had a lot of smash in it. That was really released. The ball went high, it went pretty straight. It only drew about 3 feet there. I'll take that shot all day long. So remember, as long as you're doing a direct unhinging action instead of kind of throwing it out or dropping it behind, if you're just unhinging it directly, it really isn't casting, okay? And it's not releasing too soon. Casting actually is when you actually let the wrist unhinge and you drop behind the plane and you're unhinging. It's a very weak position, but if I'm here, I'm in a very strong position. From here, if I just turn, post up, move into impact, that's a very square club face. Let's go ahead and smash one again. I'm going to release it early as hard as I can so I can really get a good smash here. But I'm going to posture up through the ball to make sure I make room for this release. Okay, once again, that one's really smashed, and that ball flew really straight right down the line that time. So, see if you can get the feel of getting the proper type of release, which is just unhinging, and it feels like it's more unhinging down the plane directly towards impact. If you do that, you can release it sooner and harder. You can't release it too soon.